everyone. Welcome to our discussion on the QADI section for XAT 2020. Without further ado, let's get started. First question is a standard question on percentages. Nalini has received a total of 600 WhatsApp messages. So let's just say that the total messages is 100x, which is equal to 600 from four friends A, B, C, and D. You have your four friends A, B, C, and D. B and D have respectively 30% and 20%. That's 30x and 20x. That's a total of 50x. So now 50x remains. While A has sent an equal number as C. A and C value is same. So 50x divided by 2 becomes 25x each. 25x each. Moreover, Nalini finds that of A's, B's, C's, and D's jokes, certain percentages, of A's, B's, C's, and D's messages, a certain percentage are jokes. Yani ki, of each of these category, you have jokes as well as not jokes. Okay? So we are able to categorize jokes and not jokes. So for example, for A, it is 60%. 60% of 25x becomes how much? 10% is 2.5x, 20% is 5x, 60% becomes 15x. 40% of 30x, 10% is 3x, 40% is 12x. 80%, so let's remove 20%, you remove 5x, you get 20x over here. And 50% are jokes, that's a total of 10x. So you have the joke, so you can also calculate the answer now. What percentage of the jokes received by N have been sent neither by D nor by B? So what are the total jokes sent by received by Nalini? 15 plus 12, 27 plus 20, 47x plus 10x, 57x are the jokes received by Nalini, not sent by D or B. If they are not sent by D or B, they are sent by A or C. 15x plus 20x is 35x. So therefore, this value of 600 was actually not required, multiplied by 100, right? So when you multiply this by 100, you'll get your answer as 61.4%. And that's question number 1, very, very straightforward. Question number 2, there are two lighthouses located at points A and B. Point A, point B, height 60 feet tall and 40 feet tall. This is a standard geometry question. No challenge over here. We know the result also. 40 feet tall. Each lighthouse is perfectly vertical and the land connecting A and B is perfectly flat. The topmost points are given as A dashed and B dashed. Topmost points of the lighthouses are A dashed and B dashed. Draw line segments A dashed B and B dashed A. We'll get some straight lines to draw over here. Green color. A dashed B and B dashed A. Let's draw these lines. They intersect at C dash. Draw up a perpendicular from C dashed. So from here, let's drop a perpendicular. C dashed C. What is the length of CC dashed in feet? We know the answer for this. There is an existing result in geometry. 1 upon CC dashed is equal to 1 upon AA dashed plus 1 upon BB dashed. You get 1 upon 60 plus 1 upon 40. So final value for CC dashed turns out to be 60 into 40 divided by 60 plus 40, that is 100. Just solve and simplify this. 6 into 4, 24 is the right answer for CC dashed. And that's question number 2. Again, very, very straightforward. Question number 3 is slightly tough. There are two friends, Ram and Shyam. They start at the same point at the same time. Ram travels north at a speed of 10 kilometers per hour. Shyam travels east at twice the speed. So that is 20 kilometers per hour. 20 kilometers per hour. Now, after 15 minutes, 15 minutes is 1/4 of an hour. Okay. So Mr. Ram has gone north at a speed of 10 for 15 minutes. That's 1/4 of an hour. 10 upon 4, he has traveled 2.5 kilometers. Ram has traveled 2.5 kilometers. And Shyam has traveled east at double the speed. So he covers double the distance. That's 5 kilometers. And he messages Ram that he is just passing by a large telephone tower. So Shyam is going east. This is the telephone tower. After another 15 minutes, Ram now messages Shyam. So another 15 minutes have passed and another 2.5 kilometers has passed. And over here, another 5 kilometers has passed. Ram messages Shyam to show that he is near a banyan tree. This is Ram. Ram is traveling along is just now crossing a banyan tree. After some more time has elapsed, let's say in that extra time a distance x has been covered. Let me make this a little neat. This is your banyan tree. A distance x has been covered, and in this extra time a distance 2x has been covered over here. Ram and Shyam stop. They stop at the same point of time if the straight line distance between Ram and Shyam is now 50 kilometers. So this particular distance is 5050. Then how far is Shyam from the banyan tree? How far is Shyam from the banyan tree? That is this particular distance that they want us to calculate. All right. So now the calculation part is what remains. We can mark an X over here. If you may check very, very carefully that if I call this distance T, so I'm going to use Pythagoras theorem over here, but I'm not going to take 5 plus x over here. I'll just take t. So this now distance is 2t. Otherwise it will become complicated for me. So t square plus 2t square is equal to distance 50. So 50 square is 2500. Implies 4t square plus t square. 5t square is 2500. 5t square is 2500. So you get t is equal to 2500 upon 5 is 500 is 10 root 5. The value of t is now 10 root 5. So therefore 2t becomes 20 root 5. 2t is now 20 root 5, and the distance that we need to calculate, let us call it y, will now be Pythagoras theorem inside the red triangle. So 5 and 2t. So 5 square plus 20 root 5 whole square is now your y square, which is the distance that we require. 2400, 400 into 5 is 2000, and you get a 2025. Y square is 2025. Calculate the square root. You get y as 45. 45 is the right answer for question number 3. Slightly lengthy. Standard mensuration question, very, very straightforward. No, nothing tough over here. A rectangular swimming pool is 50 meters long and 25 meters wide. Its depth is always the same along its width, but linearly increases along its length from 1 meter at one end to 4 meters at the other end. So I'm going to draw the side view of this swimming pool. I'm gonna draw the side view. From the side, if you will observe this particular swimming pool, it's on one end, on a deep end. Just imagine a swimming pool, right? आप सब लोग swimming तो कभी ना कभी गए होंगे. You have a shallow end at a deep end. Now imagine आप इस swimming pool को side से देख रहे हो. Looking at it from the side, there is the deep end and there is the shallow end. It looks something like this. It's a trapezium. ठीक है? ये आपका trapezium आ गया. This is 50 and this is 25. And that is the width of the pool. So now it will start looking to you like a 3D diagram. There you go. That is your swimming pool. It could look better, something like this. Yeah, there's your swimming pool, shallow end and deep end. Okay. So swimming is one of the most popular and effective exercises because it's one of the few sports जिसमें each and every single body part is known to get flexed and exercised, right? 50 and 25 आया यहाँ पर, and that's not 50 and 25 actually. ये तो मुझे चाहिए from 1 meter to 4 meter. So you have 1 over here, 4 over here. The height changes along the length, so the length is 50 and the width is 25. How much is the water? So we have you know that if I want to calculate the volume of a 3D diagram, I can calculate it as area of base into the altitude, right? But over here, if you take this particular rectangle as the base, तो जब आप इसकी altitude की तरफ जाएंगे तो you will find yourself in trouble, right? You'll find yourself in a hole because थोड़ी देर बाद ये जो सारे rectangles नीचे आते जा रहे हैं, after a while it will no longer be a rectangle because वहाँ पे height change हो गया होगा. So what you do is that we refer to a side view. Side view is over here, right? Side view हो गया आपका. You look at the trapezium and you multiply along the width. That will give you the volume. Half sum of parallel sides 4 plus 1 5 into ये उसका altitude आ गया 50 into the depth of the pool. So from the side view we just add the areas of a lot of trapeziums to get the volume. You get your 2 5 25 and this should give us the answer 25. ये तो 3 power 5 हो गया. 3125 is the right answer. 3125 is the right answer for question number 4. Right? Nice. Easy question. Another very straightforward question. This particular operation has been defined. It's an operator based question. Add the numbers and multiply by the second number. So what is this value? 5.2, 5 plus 2 7, 7 into 2 14, right? And 14 plus 4 19, 19 into 5 is 95. D part 95 is the right answer. Simple. This question, a man is laying stones from start to end along the two sides of a 200-meter walkway, right? Two sides. So I have made the two sides over here, and this is sort of like the start. The stones are to be laid 5 meters apart from each other. When he begins, all the stones are present at the start. सारे के सारे यहाँ पर हैं, ठीक है? He places the first stone on each side at the walkway's start. Means एक इधर रख दिया, एक इधर रख दिया. For all the other stones, the man lays the stones first along one of the walkway sides, then along the other side in an exactly similar fashion. However, he can carry only one stone at a time. And to lay each stone, the man walks to the spot, lays the stone and then comes back. ठीक है? तो इसको कैसे करना है कि for example, this man He walks 5 meters, पत्थर रखा, and 5 meters वापस, that is 10. ठीक है. Then he walks from here 5 plus 5, 10 meters, and then 10 meters वापस, that is 20. This process continues until the last stone, where he will cover the full length of 200 and then 200 वापस. तो ये आपका 400 हो जाएगा. ठीक है. Of a 200 meter walkway, 10, 20, 30, 40, up till 400. 400 या 200 जाना, 200 आना, ये 400 हो गया. He will also repeat this for the other side, so ये into 2 हो जाएगा. That's it. After laying all the stones, the man walks back to the start, which marks the end of his work. What is the total distance that he walked? Assume that the width of the walkway is negligible. So एक starting point से they are saying ऐसा नहीं है कि इधर जाने का distance और इधर जाने का distance भी आपको measure करना है. ठीक है. So 2, 10 common ले लो. 10 common, you get 1 plus 2 plus 3 up till 40. ठीक है. 40 तक total calculation 2 into 10, 40 terms, that's 40 into 41 divided by 2. ये 2 cancel यहाँ पे. 41 into 4, 164 and those zeros. The answer is 16,400 for question number 6. Next question is from probability. Ashok has a bag containing 40 cards. Integers are from 1 to 40. No two cards are numbered with the same integer. Sister Shilpa has another bag with 5 cards numbered from 1 to 5. No integer is repeating. So 1 to 40 है अशोक के पास, 1 to 5 है शिल्पा के पास. Their mother randomly draws a card from each of Ashok's and Shilpa's bags and notes down the respective numbers. ठीक है. She now has 2 numbers. Lata will now divide Ashok का number by Shilpa का number. ठीक है. Ashok's number, most probably a larger number, when divided by Shilpa's number, which is from 1 to 5. What is the probability that the remainder will not be greater than 2? 2 से बड़ा remainder नहीं होगा when dividing by 1/2/3/4/5. These are your divisors. ठीक है. ये आपके सारे डिवाइजर्स हैं. नाउ नो मैटर अशोक का नंबर चाहे कुछ भी है, व्हेन यू डिवाइडेड बाय 1 उसका रिमाइंडर 0 ही आने वाला है, विच इज़ नॉट ग्रेटर दैन 2. सो ऑल 40 नंबर्स आर एक्सेप्टेबल. ठीक है. ऑल द 40 नंबर्स व्हेन डिवाइड बाय 1 रिमाइंडर 0 आएगा. व्हेन डिवाइडेड बाय 2 रिमाइंडर 0 या 1 आएगा, बिकॉज remainder is smaller than divisor, right? So remainder will be 0 or 1, which will not be greater than 2. So all the 40 numbers are acceptable. ठीक है. When you divide any number by 3, उसका remainder 0 या 1 या 2 आएगा, right? Which is not greater than 2. So all the 40 numbers are selected. And now we come to the last 2 categories. When you divide a number by 4, the remainder will be 0 or 1 or 2 or 3, which means that जो remainder 3 देगा, that is not acceptable. So a number when divided by 4 gives a remainder of 3. Those numbers are of the form 4k plus 3. Those numbers are of the form 4k plus 3. We count them out. You get 3, 7, 11 and so on. 15, 19, 23, 27, 31, 35, 39. These are the numbers which are of the form 4k plus 3. ठीक है. We can count them out also. AP का formula लगा लेंगे. 39 is the nth term, is equal to 3 plus n minus 1d. D is of course 4. 39, 36, 4, n is equal to 10. n का value 10 आ गया at this point. ठीक है. So I get 10 numbers over here, and numbers when divided by 5 will give me a remainder of 0 or 1 or 2. ये सारे के सारे ठीक है. 3 and 4 are not acceptable. So numbers of the form when divided by 5, remainder 3 या फिर 4 ये नहीं चल पाएंगे, because the remainder should not be greater than 2. So 3 or 4 is not acceptable. So let us write down all the numbers from 1 to 40 which when divided by 5 would give you a remainder of 3 or 4. वो सारे के सारे count नहीं करने हैं. So therefore I get 3 or 4 and then plus 5, right? 5, 8, 9, 13, 14, speed it up, 18, 19, because range छोटा है तो उसको manually ही कर देते हैं. 23, 24, 18, 19, yeah, 23, 24, 28, 29, 33, 34 and 38, 39. ये सारे के सारे नंबर्स काउंट कर लो. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. There are 16 numbers over here which we should not be counting. And यहाँ पे कितने नंबर्स आ गए हमारे? 3, 7, 11, 15, 19, 23, 27, 31, 35, 39, 39 upon 36, 36 upon 4, 9, 9 plus 1, 10. यहाँ पे ये 10 नंबर्स हमने काउंट नहीं करने हैं, ठीक है. सो देयरफॉर अगर 40 में से 10 काउंट नहीं करने तो 30 काउंट करने, 40 में से 16 काउंट नहीं करने तो 24 करने हैं, ठीक है. सो आउट ऑफ अ टोटल ऑफ 40 numbers, 40 combinations per number for शिल्पा के 5 नंबर्स हैं. फॉर ईच नंबर अशोक के 40 नंबर्स पॉसिबल हैं. सो यू हैव अ टोटल ऑफ 14 to 5, 200 इज़ द टोटल सैम्पल स्पेस, ठीक है. 200 इज़ द टोटल सैम्पल स्पेस, जिसमें से एक्सेप्टेबल वाले नंबर्स कितने हो गए? ये सारे 40, 80, 120, 150, 174 आ रहा है हमारा डिवाइडेड बाय 200. 174 divided by 200 is 87 upon 100. The answer is 0.87. Ashok, you could have picked up 40 cards per card for Shilpa. That's 40 into 5 total is what you could have picked up. The ones that you should not have picked up, वो हमने calculate कर दिए. When divided by 4, remainder 3. When divided by 5, remainder 3 or 4. Take these out. Answer is 174 upon 200. That's 0.87. So ये थोड़ा सा moderate level question हो गया. Next question is something that might have struck you as being a little challenging within the exam. Who knows what approach you might have tried in this question. So a shopkeeper sells bags in 3 sizes: small, medium and large. The large bag costs 1000 rupees, the medium bag costs 200 rupees and the small bag costs 50 rupees. These 3 buyers, they buy some numbers of these types of bags. All of these people are buying bags. The respective amounts spent by these people are equal, which means that your total value, if you have 3 people, they are spending the same amounts, that means your total is divisible by 3. If you have 3 people and they are spending equal amounts, that means your total has to be divisible by 3. Put together, the shop sells 1 large bag, 15 medium bags, and 15 small bags, so 15 to 15, and some medium bags, let's say M medium bags, okay? So this is now your total, and this total, as we know, should be divisible by 3. So you get 1750 plus 200 M should be divisible by 3. What is the minimum number of medium bags that the shop sells to them? Minimum number of medium bags that the shop sells to them. So at this point, I know that this particular number is divisible by 3. I also know that out of these 3 people, somebody will get the large bag. 1000 rupees ka bag किसी को तो मिलेगा. Somebody will get this bag. So that means that if somebody is getting the large bag 1000 rupees wala, that means each person spends. Each person spends greater than equal to rupees 1000. ये बात तो पक्की है. ठीक है. Each person spends greater than equal to rupees 1000 because somebody bought the large bag. ठीक है. Now this number is divisible by 3, यानी कि remainder 0 आना चाहिए. तो सबसे पहले let us find the remainder when 1750 is divided by 3. तो इसको mentally आप divide करिए. 5 times 15, 25. 8 times 24, 1, 0, 10. 10 divided by 3, remainder is 1. For this number to be divisible by 3, if you have remainder 1 over here, then 200m should be giving me a remainder of 2. ताकि 1 plus 2 3 हो जाएगा. Total remainder should be 0. ठीक है. 3/3 0 हो जाएगा. So 200 divided by 3 का remainder क्या है? 180, 198. 200 में से 198, remainder is 2. And I need a total remainder of 2 over here, right? So that 1 plus 2, 3 is divisible by 3. That means m should be giving me a remainder of 1. So that 1 plus 2 into 1, 3 हो जाएगा. 3 is divisible by 3 ताकि आपका final remainder 0 आ जाए. Therefore, we conclude that m divided by 3 का remainder 1 आएगा. From the options, we are able to check कि which values of m divided by 3 का remainder 1 है. 7 satisfies, 10 satisfies, and 4 satisfies. 7, 10, and 4 satisfy. What is the minimum value? So we quickly take up 4 divided by 3. So you get 1750 plus 800 is 2550 divided by 3, and you get 850. But we know that each person, so this is the money spent by each person. We know that each person spent at least 1000 rupees because किसी ने तो large bag लिया था. So therefore 4 तो नहीं चल पाएगा. So we try out 7, 200, 7 divided by 3. That's 21, 38, 50 divided by 3. 9 4s are 36, 38. Oh, sorry, 1400. 1400 and 1700 is how much? 3150. Is rupees 1050. It is possible that each person did spend rupees 1050. All values are matching. Therefore 7 is the right answer for question number 8. Good question. Rectangular field that is 40 meters long and 30 meters wide. तो ये 40 by 30 का rectangular field है. Draw diagonals on this field and then draw circles. तो ये diagonals बना दिए. Draw circles of radius 1.25 meters with centers only on the diagonals. So I have to start drawing circles. For example, ऐसा starting शुरुआती circle with centers on the diagonals. ठीक है. ऐसे circles बनाते जाएंगे. ठीक है. You will also observe each circle must fall completely within the field. ठीक है. वो दीवारों को टच करे या ना करे, that is not mentioned, but it should be within. Any two circles can touch each other, but they should not overlap. Touch allowed है, intersect and overlap allowed नहीं. What is the maximum number of such circles that can be drawn on the field? If I want maximum such circles, I will try to keep them as close to each other as possible. ठीक है? So that's the kind of structure that I am drawing. And इसका जो diagonal का length हो जाएगा वो 30, 40, 50 हो जाएगा. 50. And then when I start drawing circles of radius 1.25 and therefore diameter 5, if the full length of the diagonal was available for me, then I would be able to fit in 20 such circles. पहले डायगोनल पर आई वुड बी एबल टू फिट इन 20 सच सर्कल्स अगर पूरा का पूरा डायगोनल को मैं यूज़ कर पाता. बट एज यू कैन सी दिस इज़ अ स्मॉल लाइन दैट आई कैन नॉट यूज़. इसका मुझे लेंथ चाहिए कितना मैं नहीं यूज़ कर पा रहा हूँ. ठीक है. सो वील ड्रॉ सम सर्कल्स ओवर हियर. ये यहाँ पे आ जाएगा रेडियस. दिस इज़ ऑल्सो द रेडियस. दिस इज़ ऑल्सो द रेडियस. दिस इज़ ऑल्सो द रेडियस. ये सारे के सारे एंगल्स भी आपके 90 हो जाएंगे. ठीक है. जब ये सारे के सारे आपके एंगल्स 90 हो गए तो यू गेट दिस पर्टिकुलर लेंथ एज r√2. ये r√2 हो जाएगा. ठीक है. बिकॉज इट इज़ r, इट्स अ स्क्वायर. ऑल एंगल्स आर 90. एडजेसेंट एंगल्स आर एडजेसेंट साइड्स आर इक्वल. तो ये आपका जो हाइपोटेन्यूज है वो r√2 हो जाएगा. पाइथागोरस थ्योरम लगा लो या 45 45 90 ट्राइंगल कर लो. r√2 जिसमें से r मुझे सब्ट्रैक्ट करना है. आई वॉन्ट टू सब्ट्रैक्ट r सो दैट आई कैन फाइनली गेट द पार्ट दैट आई एम इंटरेस्टेड इन. ये वाला this part I need. So I will take the distance from the center to the vertex as r√2 minus उसमें से r निकाल देंगे. And r is 1.25, so 1.25 √2 minus 1. √2 is 1.4, approximately 1.4, and 1.4 minus 1, that's 0.4. 0.4 means 40%. 40% जिसका 10% is 0.125, 20% हो गया 0.25, 40% हो गया 0.5, 40% हो गया 0.5. तो हमें यहाँ से भी निकालना है एंड यहाँ से भी हमें उतना डिस्टेंस निकालना है बिकॉज दैट इज़ नॉट यूजेबल फॉर मी. सो 0.5 0.5 1 निकालना है. ठीक है. तो 50 में से फ्रॉम द फुल डायगोनल आई हैव रिमूव्ड द स्मॉल पार्ट्स दैट आई कैन नॉट यूज़. That means I have 49 का length available with me and 49 के अंदर the length of each the diameter of each circle is 2.5. तो ये आपका 49 upon 2.5 हो जाता है 19 point something. 19 point something means 19 full circles I can keep but the 20th circle fully मैं उसको place नहीं कर पाऊँगा. ठीक है. Also when I am putting in 19, this part is sort of apparent that एक circle होगा जो यहाँ पे बीच में आ जाएगा और जब ये बीच में आ जाएगा it will be a common circle between the circles formed on one diagonal and the circles formed at the other diagonal. ठीक है. आपने 19 सर्कल्स बनाए, छोटा सा थोड़ा सा गैप आपका छूट गया. तो एक बिकॉज यू वांट टू ड्रॉ मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ सर्कल्स बनाने के लिए सेंट्रल वाला सर्कल जो है वो कॉमन आ जाएगा. अदरवाइज आपका स्पेस जो है यहाँ पे वो वेस्ट हो जाएगा. ठीक है. सो 19 circles on one diagonal, 19 circles on the other diagonal, but the central circle has now been counted twice, so we remove it once and you get 37 circles as the right answer for question number 9. Straightforward question. You have X, Y and Z who start a web-based venture together. X invests 2.5 lakhs, Y invests 3.5 lakhs and Z invests 4 lakhs. In the first year, the venture makes a profit of 2 lakhs. A part of the profit is shared between Y and Z in the ratio 2:3. So let's say we have P and 2 lakhs minus P. These are the two quantities. Over here, a part of it is shared between Y and Z in the ratio 2:3. And the remaining profit is divided between X, Y, Z in the ratio of their investments. X, Y, Z in the ratio of their investment. So let's take the ratio for these and you get 5, 7 and 8. Okay, 5:7:8 is the ratio in which the other part is divided. 5:7:8. The amount that Z receives is 4 times X. So now let us calculate the amount with Z. So Z gets over here 3/5 of P and Z gets over here 8 upon 8 plus 7 plus 5, 20. 8 upon 20 of 2 lakh minus P, the remaining part. 2 lakh minus P. Okay. This is equal to 4 times of what X receives. So what does X receive? X receives nothing over here and X receives 5 parts out of 20 of 2 lakh minus P. 5 minus P. Right? So 5 by 20 is of course 1 by 4 and 4 gets cancelled over here. So we are now left with 2 lakh minus P. And this is of course 2 by 5. So you now have 3P upon 5 is equal to 2 lakh minus P minus 3 by 5. So 1 minus 3, minus 2 by 5. 1 minus 2 by 5 becomes 3 by 5. Right, I'm just taking this particular expression 2 lakh minus P into 2 by 5, taking it over there. So 1 minus 2 by 5 is 3 by 5. You get 2 lakh minus P. So 3 by 5 gets cancelled. P is equal to 2 lakh minus P. That means P is equal to 1 lakh. P is equal to 1 lakh. What is the amount that Y receives? So finally we go towards the answer. So 1 lakh over here and 1 lakh in total over here. So how much does Y receive? Y receives 2/5, 2 parts out of 5, 2/5 of this 1 lakh, and Y receives over here 7 out of 8, 15, 20. 7 upon 20 of this 1 lakh, which gives us a total of 75,000 rupees. So the answer is 10th ka B part. Straightforward question on remainders. 19 to the power 20 minus 20 to the power 19 को हमें 7 से डिवाइड करना है, ठीक है. And 20 divided by 7 is a remainder of -1, negative remainder. -1 power 19 becomes -1, ठीक है. And -1 को आप -1 you can add the divisor plus 7 to get a value of 6. ये आपका 6 आ गया, ठीक है. एंड नाउ 19 टू द पावर 20 को हमें छोटा करना है. आई कैन राइट 19 डिवाइडेड बाई 7 एज -2 एंड ये आपका हो गया -2 टू द पावर 20. नाउ 5 of 7, वी आर ऑल फेमिलियर विद यूलर्स थ्योरम. 5 of 7 का वैल्यू इज 6. And as we know, the Euler's theorem states that a to the power any multiple of phi of d when divided by d gives me a remainder of 1. तो nearest multiple of 6 कौन सा है 20 में? Nearest multiple is 18 divided by multiplied by -2 का square, ठीक है. तो ये part which is a multiple of phi of d, that 6, ये 1 आ जाएगा और आपका -2 का स्क्वायर बेसिकली 4 आ जाएगा. So in the end you are left with 4 minus 6. 4 minus 6 gives you a remainder of -2 and -2 में add the divisor back to make it positive. 5 is the right answer for question number 11. Standard question on time and work. X, Y, Z are three software experts who work on upgrading their software. X takes a day off every 3 days. After every 3 days means the fourth day. He works 3 days, fourth day off. Y works for every 4 days and takes a day off, fifth day. Z takes a day off after every 5 days means sixth day. Working afresh after a common day off. X and Y working together can complete one new upgrade job in 6 days. In these 6 days, X has taken the fourth day off. That means he has worked for 5 days. Let his efficiency be X. In these 6 days, Y has taken the fifth day off. That means he out of 6. That means he has also worked for 5 days. Z and X working together can do two new upgrade jobs in 8 days. Two jobs means 2W in 8 days. If he is working for 8 days, Z and X. So X has taken the fourth day off and the eighth day off. That means he has worked out of 8 days, 6 days. 4th day and 8th day off. The 2 days off, 6 days work. Plus Z has taken the sixth day off out of 8 days. That means he has worked for 7 days. So the total work 2W is equal to 6X plus 7Y. And then Y and Z working together do 3 new upgrade jobs. 3W. In 12 days. In 12 days, X takes the X is not here, Y and Z. Y takes the fifth day off and the 10th day off out of 12. That means Y has worked for 10 days. Z takes the sixth day off and the 12th day off. That means he has worked for 10 days. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I am going to assume the work to be 10 units. We are using the standard methodology as some of my students know, method number 2, where we are going to use a constant for the work done, which is LCM of time periods. So let the work done W be 10. So 2W over here becomes 20 and 3W of course over here becomes 30, right? So you get X plus Y is equal to 2, and from here you get Y plus Z is equal to 3. X plus Y is equal to 2. And Y plus Z is equal to 3. Okay? And then subtract both of these equations. When you subtract them, you get Z minus X is equal to 1, right? Just subtract these two. Z minus X is equal to 1 implies Z is equal to 1 plus X. So when Z is equal to 1 plus X, okay, I have another equation over here. No, not another equation. We just have to do the work. Okay. Y got cancelled. Z is equal to 1 plus X. So is there some kind of error so far? Yes, second equation is for Z and X, not X and Y. So let me just correct that. I was just wondering मेरे पास Z है but वो Z की utility कहाँ है? So second statement देखते हैं. 8 days काम करना है and Y takes the fifth day off. That means he works for 7 days. So you get a Y over here. And Z takes the sixth day off out of 8 days. That means, this is for Z and X, right? So अब ज़रा X पे आ जाते हैं. X takes, it works for 3 days, takes every fourth day off. The fourth day and 8th day. X ने off लिया है, 8 में से 6 दिन काम किया. I get X over here. And for Z takes every 6th day off out of 8. That means Z has worked for 7 days. तो यहाँ पे सिर्फ Z लगाना था. Now we can solve this. 6x plus 7 times 1 plus x is equal to 20. Solve. 6x plus 7x, 13x plus 7 is equal to 20. X is equal to 1. As soon as x is 1, I get 1 plus 1, z is equal to 2. Right? And when x is 1, 1 plus y is 2, so y is also 1. तो y का वैल्यू भी 1 आ जाएगा. So I have x, y and z. If x, y and z together start afresh on a new upgrade job, exactly after how many days will they complete the job? So they are working together now, right? When they are working together, so they are doing 1 plus 2 plus 1, 4 units per day. First day, day 1, 4 units किया. Second day, day 2, 4 units किया. Total work to be done is 10 units. That means on the third day 2 units करना है, तो only half of day 3 करना है. Day 1 4 units, day 2 4 units, and day 3 only 2 units, because total 10 units हो जाएगा. So only half of day 3. So 1 plus 1 plus half, 2.5 days is the right answer for question number 12. Very straightforward question. Next question is a little tough, to say the least. So you have a box containing cricket, tennis and rubber balls. Of these balls, some are defective. Okay. So we can make some, not noise, but lines. Defective cricket, tennis and rubber balls. ठीक है. We have some cricket balls, tennis balls, rubber balls. They are either defective or they are non-defective, and we have their totals. Cricket balls 6, tennis balls 5, rubber balls 4. Let's say that the number of defective balls are x, y and z respectively. Non-defective becomes the remaining balls. ठीक है. The proportion of defective cricket balls. So defective cricket balls are x upon 6 is more than defective tennis balls. Tennis balls are y upon 5 but less than defective rubber balls. Defective rubber balls are z upon 4. This particular relationship is provided. Moreover, the overall proportion of defective balls, overall x plus y plus z divided by total balls 6 plus 5 11 plus 4 15, is twice the proportion of defective tennis balls. टेनिस बॉल्स डिफेक्टिव कितनी है? प्रोपोर्शन y अपॉन 5. इसको यहाँ से कैंसिल आउट करो. 3 टाइम्स 3 2 ज़ा 6, 6 minus 1 5y. You get x plus z is equal to 5y. And of course y का वैल्यू सिर्फ 1 हो सकता है. y का वैल्यू सिर्फ 1 हो सकता है बिकॉज अगर आपने y का वैल्यू 2 कर दिया तो 5 2 ज़ा 10 हो जाएगा. x plus z is 10. If x plus z is 10, that is only possible when you have 6 here and 4 here. ठीक है, समझ में आ रहा है? If y is 2, x plus z 10 हो जाएगा, which is only possible when this is 6 and this is 4. तो आपका अब 4 upon 4 will not be greater than 6 upon 6. 4 upon 4 will not be greater than 6 upon 6. इसीलिए y का वैल्यू 1 है. y is 1 and therefore x plus z is equal to 5. This is the first step that we are reaching. y का वैल्यू 1 है, so x plus z is now 5. 5 into 1. ठीक है. So now अब आपका how many defective balls will be there? अब y तो आपका 1 आ चुका है, तो यहाँ पे हम y की जगह 1 रख देते हैं. So let's see what we get. So x is greater than 6 upon 5. X is greater than 1.2. X is greater than 1.2 and z is greater than cross multiply 4 upon 5. यानी कि z is greater than 0.8. ठीक है. So now if x is greater than, at the end of the solution we know that x has to be greater than 1.2. तो मैंने x के दो cases ले लिए 2 and 3, but x equal to 4 is not allowed. I already mentioned that. x equal to 4 हो जाएगा तो आपका z का वैल्यू 1 आ जाएगा. x equal to 4, z is equal to 1. Okay, we'll take x equal to 4 and z equal to 1 as another case, but z आपका जो है 0 will not be possible, and that I have already explained, because if z becomes 0 over here then आपका inequality satisfy नहीं होगा. ठीक है. So now I am quickly writing down my cases over here. Z का value is 1 by 4. Is it greater than 4 upon 6? ठीक है. I have my cases for x and z, and x, z and y का value I have put into my inequality. Now you can check over here. 3 by 4 is 0.75, 2 by 6 is 1 by 3 is 0.33, and 1 by 5 is 0.2. This inequality is satisfied. 2 by 4 is half, that's 0.5. Is it greater than 3 by 6 half? 0.5? No. Not acceptable. 1 by 4 is 0.25. Is it greater than 0.66? No, it is not. So this is the only possible case for x and z. Number of defective rubber balls, z का value सिर्फ और सिर्फ 3 हो सकता है. E part is the right answer. Question might be a little calculation intensive. In the figure given below, there is a circle which has a chord of length 12, that is AB. So this AB is of length 12. It makes an angle of 60 degrees with the center, so that is manageable for us. As soon as we make a 60 degrees over here, we have an equilateral triangle. 12 here, and this is 60 degrees, and so these two angles are also 60 degrees because these two sides are equal to radius. So you now get an equilateral triangle. 60 equilateral triangle, 12 12 12. Done. ABCD is a rectangle. ठीक है. OQ is the perpendicular bisector of AB. So now let us make OQ. OQ is the perpendicular bisector of AB at P, arc AB at M, and CD at Q. So we just make a straight line over here at P, A, M and Q. ठीक है. Done. OM is equal to MQ. So OM is your, of course, radius 12. MQ also becomes equal to the radius. MQ also becomes equal to the radius. The area of the region enclosed by the line segments AQ and QB. I need some line segments now. Area enclosed by AQ, QB, and the arc BMA. And the arc BMA will mean this region. So what is the area of this region? For this, what I will do is that I can simply calculate the area of this particular triangle, and then from that subtract this particular segment, and that should give us the right answer. Okay? Okay, we will be able to do that now. Let us see how. How can we calculate? I have the base over here. Base is 12. मुझे ये वाला अभी altitude चाहिए. ये particular altitude चाहिए मुझे. तो ये altitude अभी आ जाना चाहिए. So I have 12. 12 means 6 and 6. And यहाँ पे अब altitude आ जाएगा OP. OP square is equal to 12 square minus 6 square. That's 144 minus 36. That's 108. 108 is 9 into 12. 9 into 12 is 4 into 3. So I get the length of OP as 3 into 2, 6 root 3. OP का लेंथ आ गया है 6 root 3 and therefore PM का लेंथ आ गया है 12 minus 6 root 3. PM का लेंथ आ गया 6 root 3. ये 12 क्या मार्क किया है हमने इधर? What is this particular 12? 12 is our MQ because OM is equal to MQ. ठीक है, फाइन. सो इससे अब क्या हुआ, मुझे अपना ऑल्टीट्यूड मिल गया PQ. PQ is now equal to PM plus MQ. PM ये रहा 12 plus 12, 24 minus 6 root 3. So now I can calculate the area triangle ABQ. ABQ आ जाएगा अब half base AB which is 12, altitude PQ which is 24 minus 6 root 3. ठीक है, ये गया यहाँ से 6 times 24 into 6 is 144 minus 36 root 3. Done. Now I need the area of this segment. ये छोटा सा segment चाहिए. So of course the area of the segment will be sector minus this equilateral triangle. So that part is also clear for us. So now let us take our sector. Sector is of course 60 degrees का angle है pi 12 square into 60 upon 360 यानी कि 1/6. Sector minus our equilateral triangle √3/4 into 12 square. Equilateral triangle उसमें से हटा दो, you'll get the blue part that we are looking for. ठीक है, इसमें से 12 square. Last part of my calculation, I have taken 12 square common over here, तो pi/6 आया minus √3/4. ठीक है, this is the sector area. So what is this 144 divided by 6? 24 pi minus 144 upon 4 is 36. 36 root 3. From the sector I have to subtract the triangle. ठीक है, sector में से जब मैं triangle को subtract करूँगा, that is when I am going to get this particular region. Triangle BMA. AQQB. Yeah, I want this particular red region, right? ये red वाला जो मुझे part चाहिए, इसको निकालने के लिए I'll take the full triangle ABQ over here. From that I will subtract this particular segment that I have calculated. Triangle minus the blue part is my answer, the red part. This minus this आपका 36 root 3 cancel हो जाएगा. You'll be left with 144 minus 24 pi. Pi का approximate value ले लिया मैंने 3.1, it's 3.14. 3.1 24 into 3 is 72. 24 into 0.1 is 2.4. इसको निकाला तो मेरा approximate value is 69.6 जो कि 69 के पास है. The answer is B part for question 14. The next question is not very difficult. We want a square. inside a square. He decides to have some fun. So let's see what is his idea of fun. He marks two distinct points on one of the diagonals. We choose one diagonal. Using these points as centers, he constructs two circles. Each of these falls completely within the land and it touches at least two sides. Okay? To his surprise, the radii of both the circles is exactly equal to 2 upon 3. He plants potatoes on the overlapping portions of these circles. So I want to make two circles, fairly large circles, which are touching two sides, something like this, touching two sides, and there has to be an overlapping portion. Okay, take one, we take another circle, put it somewhere over here, and these two circles now have an overlapping portion. These kinds of standard geometry questions have been asked multiple times over the years in CAT as well, right? Standard diagram, standard circles, we have to find out the area of the common region. Okay, we have to find out the area of the common region. Using these points as circles, he now makes two circles. So we can just make the circles a little smaller. Oops, okay, let's get rid of this. Let's make our circle a little smaller. There is our overlapping region. These are our centers. Center 1, center 2. Overlapping region is clear. Radius, radius. Now this particular line becomes the tangent to this particular circle, right? So you have this particular, so you have the center over here, line joining center to point of contact with tangent. This becomes a 90-degree angle. These are two centers, let's say for example P and Q. This is line joining center to point of contact with tangent, because this is going to be a tangent because it's going to touch at only one particular point, 90 and 90. Okay? So, and due to the symmetry of this particular diagram, these two angles are also going to be equal to each other. 360 में से 90 90 गया 180 बचा. These two angles are also 90. These two angles are also 90 degrees. Okay? And then we can draw one more line over here, and again like the previous case, we are going to try to find out the area of the segment. So let's find out area of the segment. I have the radius over here. It's a right angle triangle anyways. So pi radius square into 90 upon 360 minus area of the triangle half r. So this becomes 1 upon 4 is equal to r square is 2 by 3 square, that's 4 upon 9, pi 4 by 9, 4 cancel, pi upon 9 minus 4 by 9 divided by 2 is 2 by 9. So you get pi minus 2 divided by 9. This is the area of one of the segments. When I want both of the segments, I am just going to multiply this by 2. So your answer becomes B part. Question 15, B part is the right answer. Next question is on maxima minima. So this is going to be a little challenging, possibly. Consider the 4 variables and a function z. So I'm going to rewrite these. Z is equal to 15a square minus 3 b power 4 plus c plus 0.5d. ठीक है. It is given that ABCD are non-negative integers and that all of the following relationships must hold. Non-negative will mean greater than equal to 0 values. Non-negative means greater than equal to 0. 2a plus b is less than equal to 2. When is this possible? Obviously, it is possible when both of them are 0. It is possible when a is 1 and b is 0, and when a is 0 and b is 1. These are the possibilities. So 4a plus 2b, the next one, need some space. 4a, so if 2a plus b is less than equal to 2, that means 4a plus 2b becomes less than equal to 4, because 4a plus 2b is part of the second equation. 4a plus 2b plus c is less than equal to 12. ठीक है. If z needs to be maximized, what must be the value that d can take? What value must d take in order to maximize z? So at this point, we are very clear that if you want to maximize z, then you need to maximize a, right? Because a is the term with the squared value. A को maximize करना होगा, b को minimize करना होगा because b is it with a minus sign, and c and d also as large as possible because they are contributing positively. So if you have to maximize a and minimize b, automatically the case to take is a is 1 and b is 0. A is 1 and b is 0. There is no other case to take. So we already have some of our values. A is 1 and b is 0. ठीक है. So जैसे ये हो गया, your second equation gets simplified. So a is 1 and b is 0 means 4a plus c is less than equal to 12. And that's 4 plus c is less than equal to 12. C is less than equal to 8. C is less than equal to 8. I have another equation, 3a plus 4b plus d is less than equal to 15. B is 0 and a is 1. That means d is less than equal to 12. Obviously, when d is less than equal to 12, I am going to take d as 12. So 12 is the right answer for this particular question. 15 is not possible. 12 is correct. And a fairly challenging question has now been simplified. Question number 17. I have made a Venn diagram for this. There are 190 students who have to choose at least one elective. 190 students, at least one means none wale 0 ho gaye. This is elective 1, elective 2 and elective 3, and then I have marked all the variables A, B, C, D, E, F, G. So the people have to choose at least one and at most 2 electives. At most 2 means nobody is selecting 3 electives, तो यहाँ center में 0 आ जाएगा out of E1, E2, E3. It is found that E1 is half of E2, ये रहा, and 1/3 of E3. E1 is 1/3 of E3. तो मुझे मिल गया E2 is 2 times E1 and E3 is 3 times E1. ठीक है. और क्या दिया है हमको? The number of students choosing 2 electives. 2 का symbol I have written as Roman number 2 is 50. Now what categories do you have? None is 0. 3, exactly 3 is 0. तो exactly 1 and exactly 2 ही तो बचा. तो exactly 2 is 50. Out of 190 people, exactly 1 आ गया 140. यहाँ से मैंने मार्क कर दिया a plus b plus c is 140. Exactly 1. d plus e plus f is exactly 2 is 50. ठीक है. Which of the following cannot be obtained from the given information? Exactly 1 elective आ गया मेरा 140. Number of students choosing both E1 and E2. Both E1 and E2 is D का value. Currently D का value आता हुआ तो दिख नहीं रहा मुझे. Number of students choosing E3. E3 कैसे आएगा? E3 is this one. अच्छा चलो देखते हैं. Number of students choosing E1. E1 is this one. E3 और E1 में से कोई भी एक अगर मिल गया तो हमारा आंसर आ जाएगा. Is that I have just made my Venn diagram a little small and I have used the results provided. ठीक है, तो E2 and is twice of E1 ये रहा. E2 is of course, E2 में क्या क्या है, B D F, twice of E1, E1 is ADE. E3 is thrice of E1 ये रहा. E3 thrice of E1. इन दोनों को अब मैंने subtract कर दिया है. I have subtracted both of these. So 3 times minus 2 times, एक ही बार रह गया ADE. I have subtracted these two और इसमें से आपका F कैंसिल हो गया. You get E plus C minus B minus D. ठीक है, इसमें भी आपका E कैंसिल हो गया. तो घूम फिर के C is equal to A plus 2D plus B. C is equal to A plus 2D plus B, जिसमें से A plus B को I can substitute as 140 minus C. ये देखो यहाँ पे A plus B की जगह मैंने लिख दिया 140 minus C. ठीक है, plus 2D. So I get C is equal to 140 minus C plus 2D. तो I get 2C minus 2D is 140. C minus D is 70. C को अब मैं रिप्लेस कर देता हूँ. C is 70 plus D. ये आ गया C is 70 plus D. ठीक है, और with all the information that was provided to us हम यहाँ तक तो पहुँच पाए. अब now what can we do? How can I get one of my values? E3 देखो अब क्या हो गया. What is the value of E3? E3 is equal to 70 plus D plus E plus F, जिसमें से D plus E plus F का वैल्यू है हमारे पास 50. So you get 70 plus 50 is 120. ये हमारा E3 आ गया 120. And E3 is thrice of E1, तो E1 आ गया 120 upon 3, that is 40. ये दो और वैल्यूज आ गई. नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स चूजिंग आइदर E1 और E2 और बोथ, ये आ गया E1 और E2 और बोथ, ये सारा बट नॉट E3. बट नॉट E3 मीन्स A plus B plus D. तो A plus B plus D कैसे आएगा? अगर आप टोटल में से E3 निकाल दो. फ्रॉम द टोटल ऑफ 190, इफ़ यू रिमूव E3 यू विल गेट A plus B plus D. That's 190 and E3 is of course 120. ये भी कैलकुलेट हो गया. So the answer therefore becomes B part. B part is the right answer for question 17. Is a continuation of our previous question. So we will be referring to this same diagram. In addition to the given information, which of the following is necessary and sufficient to compute the number of students choosing only E1, that's A, only E2, that is B, and only E3, that is C, which is now 70 plus D. तो basically हमें चाहिए C नहीं, 70 plus D चाहिए. No extra information is necessary. We need some information. Number of students choosing both E1 and E2. Both E1 and E2 is D. अगर आपको D मिल जाएगा तो आपको C मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, मान लिया. अगर आपको D मिल जाएगा, that's it. E and F तो मिल नहीं रहा. So we cannot calculate these values individually. Okay. So we try another option. Number of students choosing only E2 and both E2 and E3 अगर दिया जाए. Only E2 is what? B. And both E2 and E3 अगर दे दिया, that is F. अगर B and F दे दिया, then काम हो जाएगा क्या हमारा? Both E2 and E3, yeah. So if I have B and F, see E2 तो हमने पहले ही निकाल लिया था ना, ये देखो E2 is twice of E1, ठीक है, and E1 is 40, तो आपका E2 का तो वैल्यू 80 है, E2 का वैल्यू 80 है. नाउ इफ़ यू हैव B एंड यू हैव F, देन आपको D मिल जाएगा. जब आपको D मिल जाएगा तो आपको 70 प्लस D मिल जाएगा. एंड E3 वी ऑलरेडी हैव इज़ 120, तो आपको E मिल जाएगा. एंड E1 वी ऑलरेडी हैव, तो आपको A मिल जाएगा. सो देयरफॉर C पार्ट इज़ द राइट आंसर फॉर क्वेश्चन नंबर 18. Might be looking a little tricky. XYZ is an equilateral triangle inscribed inside a circle. So now draw a triangle inside the circle, which we can do with some straight lines. So equilateral triangle will look something like this. P is a point on arc YZ. So we have X, Y, and Z. Okay. P is a point on arc YZ such that X and P are on opposite sides. ठीक है. So I can mark. So P कहाँ कहाँ हो सकता है? On this arc YZ, P might be completely on Y. I am drawing the extremes. It might be diametrically opposite X. ठीक है. P might be completely, it is between Y and Z. Extremes क्या है? सबसे nearest Y पे, सबसे दूर diametrically opposite, या फिर बीच में कहीं पे, somewhere in the middle. P might be here or here or here. Extremes. ठीक है. Which of the following must always be true? It has to be true, 100%. So XP is equal to YP plus PZ. So regardless of P कहाँ पर है, ये true होना पड़ेगा. It must be true, whether it is the minimum distance or the maximum और बीच में. So XP is of course your equilateral triangle का side. Is equal to YP, which becomes 0 plus PZ. So ये चीज़ यहाँ पे true आ रही है. ठीक है. XP equal to XY. XP is A and XY is also A. ये भी ठीक आ रही है. But let us try one of the other values. मान लो आपका XP इधर है. ठीक है. XP is diametrically opposite. Then will XP be equal to XY? XP आपका हो जाएगा पूरा का पूरा diameter. ठीक है. XP will become diameter. XY is of course only side A. So in that case B option सही नहीं होगा. B option would not be true. ठीक है. So we're taking these extremes and figuring out which of the following must be true. XP is A, PZ is A, is equal to XY is also A plus YP which is 0. ठीक है. तो ये तो ट्रू नहीं हो रहा. C ऑप्शन इज ऑल्सो गॉन. XP is A is equal to XY A plus YZ A. This is also not true. ठीक है. XZ plus YP. XZ is A, YP is 0, XY is A and PZ is A. XY is A and PZ is A. ठीक है. This is also not working. Therefore, A part is the right answer. So, this was a nice way of doing this question by taking extreme conditions for P. P could be either diametrically opposite x, या फिर at y, या फिर in the middle. So A part is the right answer. Is a nice question. You have a hare and a tortoise who run between points O and P exactly 6 kilometers from each other on a straight line. So this is your straight line. O and P. It's 6 kilometers. They start together at O, they go straight to P and return to O along the same line. They run at speeds of 12 kilometers per hour and 1 kilometer per hour. So if they will go and come back, 6 kilometers for going and 6 kilometers for coming back. Okay? So total 12 kilometers अगर आपको cover करना है, 12 kilometers at speeds of 6 to 6, 12, at speeds of 12 kilometer per hour and 1 kilometer per hour, right? Total 12 kilometers का distance है. The hare is going at a speed of 12 kilometers per hour and the tortoise is going at 1 kilometer per hour. So time taken by the hare to take one round is 1 hour. And the time taken by the tortoise, 12 kilometer, 1 kilometer per hour, is going to be 12 hours. Okay? So that means that the tortoise is going to complete one round in 12 hours. Total 12 hours लगेगा, 6 kilometers, 6 hours जाना, 6 hours आना. Since the tortoise is slower, the hare shuttles between O and P until the tortoise once goes to P and returns to O. So the tortoise is traveling for 12 hours, 6 jana, 6 ana, and the hare is covering one round in 1 hour, up down kar raha hai. Okay? During the run, how many times will the hare and the tortoise be separated by an exact distance of 1 kilometer from each other? So what I'm going to do is that I am going to separate the total distance for 1 hour each. 4, 5, 6. Right? So if the tortoise is going to take 12 hours to go and come, means 6 hours for one-way distance, means per hour वो 1/6 distance cover करेगा. तो मैंने इसको I have divided it into 6 parts. Again, I repeat that if the tortoise is going to cover distance OP in 6 hours, that means per hour he is covering a distance of 1/6. So I have now divided it into 6 parts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? And we'll go 1 hour at a time. So after 1 hour, currently the hare and the tortoise both are over here. Okay? Now they start moving. After a little while, the tortoise has started moving. The hare will be moving forward and 1 kilometer ahead हो जाएगा उसके. ठीक है? And the tortoise will move, and after 1 hour the tortoise is going to be over here. ठीक है? After 1 hour tortoise will be over here. When the hare is faster, after a little bit of time, he will be 1 kilometers ahead of the tortoise. Hare आगे चले जाएगा and then hare वापस आएगा. When the hare is coming back and the tortoise is somewhere over here, then the hare will be 1 kilometer away from it. ठीक है? And that finally, when the tortoise reaches this point, the hare will reach this point. So total thrice in this one round. First round जाते समय hare was 1 kilometer ahead and वापसी पे twice. Once when the hare was still in front of the tortoise and then जब वो वापस उसके पीछे चला गया था. So this has happened thrice. 3 times there was a distance of 1 kilometer between the hare and the tortoise. ठीक है? Now already the distance between them is 1 kilometer. As soon as the tortoise from here, he takes off and the hare takes off from over here, the distance between them is now less than 1 kilometer because all of these distances are 1 kilometer each. 1. All these distances are 1 kilometer because I have divided the distance of 6 kilometers into 6 parts. Okay? Now, as soon as the tortoise starts to move, the distance between hare and tortoise has reduced to lesser than 1 kilometer. Okay? So the tortoise starts to move, and again, thodi der baad, let's say that the tortoise is over here and the hare will cross it and it will have a distance of 1 kilometer ahead. And then thodi der baad, the tortoise will finish over here, right? So once the hare crosses, thodi der baad 1 kilometer aage ho jayega, the hare will go over here, and while coming back, again when the tortoise is in this particular distance, the hare is coming back, again 1 kilometer ka gap ho jayega, and once the tortoise moves a little bit more, hare will cross it and again 1 kilometer ka gap ho jayega. So again 1 kilometer, once when it has crossed, and twice vapsi pe. So again, this is 3 times. The distance between hare and tortoise, 1 kilometer, is 3 times on this journey. Okay? Now, again, the tortoise starts from here and the hare starts from over here. Thodi der baad, when tortoise is here and hare is a little aage, distance between them is 1. Then the tortoise will cross the hare and the distance will be 1. And then the tortoise will go, and then vapsi pe again distance will be 1, and then cross karne ke baad distance will be 1. So that becomes total 4 times. So once the hare is reaching this particular point, तो वो 4 times हो जाएगा. Similarly यहाँ पे भी 4 times हो जाएगा, and then यहाँ पे भी 4 times हो जाएगा. And now the tortoise is over here. ठीक है? Now the hare is obviously at this point O. Hare starts to move, tortoise अपना आगे चलने लग गया. Hare is moving, and while it is approaching the tortoise, 1 kilometer का distance हो जाएगा उनके बीच में. ठीक है? Hare थोड़ा सा और आगे आया, tortoise पहुंच गया यहाँ पे, and tortoise अब वापस चला. ठीक है? Tortoise जब वापस चला, hare अब आगे आ गया थोड़ा सा और, and वापसी पे the distance between hare and tortoise will be 1. And then hare will come and reach point O, and tortoise will reach point number P, which means that this happened only twice. The distance between them was 1 kilometer only twice. So from on the last 1 kilometer journey, the distance between them was of 1 kilometer was only twice. Okay? Now the tortoise is over either at P, the hare is at P. The tortoise starts to move, approaching this particular point. Hare has moved from left O to P. Tortoise is moving from P to O. And thodi der baad, the distance between them will be 1 kilometer. Now the tortoise comes a little bit more aage. Hare goes to P, turns back. Okay? So when he turns back, currently the distance between them is not 1, right? Because the tortoise has not reached this point. थोड़ा और हेयर आगे जाते जा रहे, सॉरी टॉर्टोइज आगे गया. हेयर नाउ क्रॉसेस द टॉर्टोइज, एंड देन द डिस्टेंस बिटवीन देम इज गोइंग टू बी 1 किलोमीटर. डिस्टेंस बिटवीन देम इज गोइंग टू बी 1 kilometer. ठीक है? So again this happened twice only. On this last part of the journey, this happened twice. So therefore what is happening is that the previous cycle is repeating. This happened again twice when in this particular journey, when the tortoise was moving from this point to this point. It happened twice in the last part of the journey. And again the cycle will repeat. So 4, 4, 4 and 3 and 3. Okay? So the numbers are going to repeat 3, 6, 10, 14, 18, 20. 20 into 2. 40 is the right answer for this beautiful question number 20. It's extremely straightforward. When expressed in a decimal form, which of the following numbers would be non-terminating as well as non-repeating? Non-terminating, non-repeating basically means irrational numbers. Irrational numbers. Okay? Then you can go with the options. You have 4 minus pi as the first option into an infinite GP. Into an infinite GP, which becomes A upon 1 minus R, that's 1 minus pi upon 4, right? So what will happen is that it will become 4 minus pi and get cancelled out, and 4 will come on top, so you will get your value as 4. You enter B part and you open the brackets. 3 root 2 into root 2 becomes 6, minus 4 upon root 2 into root 2 is 4, and then you have a plus root 3, which is going nowhere. Therefore, B part is the right answer for question 21. Next is maybe an intimidating looking question, nice question from an exam point of view, but not very difficult. So you have 6 drums used to store water. 5 drums are of equal capacity, while the 6th has double the capacity. Okay? So we have capacity over here. Capacity. And on one morning, 3 drums are found half full. So your total capacity should be an even number. 2 drums are 2/3 full. As soon as 2/3 full, it should also be divisible by 3. So let me take drums of capacity 300. 3, 4, 5, and the 6th one is of double the capacity, and that is 600, double the capacity. This is capacity, and what is the volume inside each of them? We don't know that yet. 3 of the drums are found half full, 2 are 2/3 full, 1 is completely full. It is attempted to transfer all of the water to the smaller drums. How many smaller drums are adequate? So that will completely depend upon which drums are full. So it is possible that your largest drum is half full, or it is 2/3 full, or it is completely full, right? These are my 3 cases: half full, 2/3 full, and completely full, right? So what about the others? If this is half full, then I need 2 more vessels which are half full, 2 others which are 2/3 full, 2/3 of 300, and 1 which is completely full, right? Aisa. Now this one is 2/3 full, so let me take 3 vessels which are half full, 1 vessel which is 2/3 full, and 1 vessel which is completely full. And this is completely full, so 3 of my vessels will be half full, and the other 2 will be 2/3 full. Okay? Now we have to transfer to the smaller case. Let us find out what is the total volume of water available to us. यहाँ पे टोटल कितना है आपके पास? 368,000, 1,300. Then यहाँ पे 4,7,900, 1,200, 1,350. And यहाँ पर 6,8,000, 1,300, 1,450. ठीक है? And the smaller drums, we have 5 such drums. 300 into 5, I have 1,500 का capacity available. 1,500 में fit करना है. ठीक है? So when I have 1,300, then in that case I will need my what you have to do, it is attempted to transfer all the water to the smaller drum. सारा का सारा smaller drums में होना चाहिए. हम drums को भरने की कोशिश करेंगे. So this will basically become 1,200, that is 4 drums. Okay, orally कर लेते हैं ना इसको. Yeah, 4 drums is how much? 300, 600, 900, 1,200. ठीक है, 1200 पे ये 1,300 हो गया. Means that the 5th drum is being used. 5 drums लगे यहाँ पर. This is also 1,200 से ज़्यादा. यहाँ पे भी 5 drums लगे. This is also 1,200 से ज़्यादा, 1,500 से कम. मतलब कि in each case you will require the 5 small drums. You have to transfer all the water to the smaller drums. How many smaller drums are adequate? 5 तो चाहिए ही चाहिए. ठीक है? So therefore the answer is B part. Very standard DI set, calculation based. You are given revenues of 4 companies from the year 2015 to 2019. which of the given companies has seen the highest year-on-year growth in any single year during the 5-year period? ठीक है, so we are looking for percentage change. सबसे ज़्यादा percentage change that is going to be a large increase upon a small base. ठीक है, तो for example यहाँ पर 150 to 175 is an increase of 25 on a base of 150, यानी कि यहाँ पर 1/6 का इंक्रीज है. ठीक है, 1/6. 175 to 200 is again 25 का इंक्रीज with a larger base. So obviously that larger base means this value will not be big enough compared to पिछले ऊपर वाले से तो छोटी हो जाएगी. 200 to 250 is a very large increase. 50 on 200 ये 1/4 का increase हो जाएगा. 1/4 is 25%. So currently this is our highest value. Currently P पर हमारी नज़र है. ठीक है, उसके बाद S को देख लेते हैं. 100 to 120 is an increase of 20 on 100. It's 1/5, but मेरे पास 1/4 already चल रहा है. I'm looking for a large increase, right? So 120 to 140 छोटा increase है. 140 to 170 is a large increase. It's 3 upon 14 का increase है. 1/14 is 7.14%. इंटू 3 करेंगे तो 21.42% आएगा. बट आई हैव 1/4 25% ऑलरेडी. दिस इज़ नॉट वर्किंग. एस इज़ नॉट देयर. आर पे आ जाते हैं. Large increase 20 upon 160 is 1/8 is 12.5%. ये large increase है. 40 upon 200, sorry, yeah, over here 40 upon 200, 200 to 240 is an increase of 40. 40 on a base of 200 is 1/5. तो again 1/5 is not working. तो ये आपका R is also gone. Q check कर लेते हैं. 125 to 140 बहुत छोटा है. ये आपका आ गया 140 to 180 is an increase of 40 on 140. ठीक है, ये 2/7 आ गया. 1/7 is 14.28%. इंटू 2 हो जाएगा 28.56%. एंड दिस हैज़ नाउ क्रॉस्ड मेरा 1/4 25%. So therefore Q is the right answer. By mere observation you would have been able to solve this very easy question. Yeah, answer is D part. This question, that's question 24. It was discovered later that one of the companies misreported its revenue in one of the years. If the misreported revenue is replaced by the correct revenue, then the revenues of that company will be in an AP. You have to see कि कौन से कंपनी का वैल्यू AP में हो सकता है. The company that misreported was. So 150, 175, 200, अगर ये 225 होता, then this would be in an AP. P has to be part of the answer. P has to be part of the answer. ठीक है, तो P के अलावा R and S को चेक करना है. So we will not waste time in checking for Q. R पे आते हैं. 150 and 10 का गैप इज़ 160. तो यहाँ पे 170 अगर आता तो यहाँ 180 आना पड़ता. सो ये AP नहीं बन रहा. 150 एंड 180 के बीच में 165. अगर 15 का गैप होता, 150, 165, 180, देन यहाँ 195 होना चाहिए था. तो R इज़ नॉट पार्ट ऑफ द आंसर. ये AP नहीं बन रहा है. 100, 120, 140, 160, 180 अगर होता तो S would have been in AP. So therefore E part is the right answer for question 24. This question now, that's question number 25. Using certain mathematical tricks. During the period from 2014 to 15, revenue increased by 25% for 3 of the companies and by 50% for the remaining company. So 25% means plus 1/4 and 50% means plus 1/2. This is a standard shortcut that many of us might be aware of, that if a value is increasing by a fraction of plus 1/4, it will have to decrease by a fraction of 1/5 to come back to the original value. एंड अगर कोई चीज़ बढ़ रही है बाय अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ हाफ, इट विल हैव टू डिक्रीज बाय अ फ्रैक्शन ऑफ 1/3. ठीक है. So now it says that the revenue for all the four companies put together increased by 125. तो पहले तो इसको निकाल लो. 2015 कितना है? 150, 300, 425, 525 is the value in 2015. तो फिर 2014 का value is a decrease of 125, that is 400. तो ये जो 400 को obtain करना है, what I do not know is which is the value जो कि 1/3 से decrease होगा. तो हम एक ट्रायल ले लेते हैं. सो फॉर एग्जाम्पल 150 को 1/3 से कम करते हैं. 1/3 of 150 is 50, तो ये 100 हो गया. एंड बाकियों को 1/5 से कम करेंगे. 1/5 means 25, ये 100 हो गया. 150 का 1/5 is 30, तो ये 120 हो गया. और इसको 20% कम किया, ये 80 हो गया. We observe that the sum is 400, means P could have been the company that reduced by 50%. ठीक है. अच्छा, अगर P जो है 150 वाला कम हो सकता था, तो फिर R भी 150 वाला 100 हो सकता था. And then the other companies could have reduced by 1/5. तो I now have 2 cases already. 2 cases हैं मेरे पास शुरुआती for this particular set, and if you would like you can check another case कि भाई कोई और possible value हो रही है क्या. तो अगर आपने 125 या 100 को 1/3 से कम किया, value decimals में आ जाएगी. तो if it is coming in decimals, your total will not be 400. So these are the only 2 possible cases. Which of the following cannot be true? ये सच हो ही नहीं सकता, पक्का झूठ है. Cannot be true means it is false. Cannot be true. ठीक है. Cannot be true. ये सच हो ही नहीं सकता means ये पक्का झूठ है. It is false. Revenue of Q in 2014 was the same as R in 2014. तो Q and R का वैल्यू दोनों केसेस में सेम नहीं है. ठीक है. विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कैन नॉट बी ट्रू? ये तो ट्रू हो ही नहीं सकता, ये पक्का फॉल्स है. ओवर हियर फॉर Q and R ये पक्का फॉल्स नहीं आ रहा है. इट्स नॉट 100% फॉल्स बिकॉज इन वन ऑफ द केसेस Q माइट बी इक्वल टू R. पक्का फॉल्स तो नहीं है. गॉन. From 2014 to 15, the increases in revenues of at least 2 companies were the same. तो increase in revenue फटाफट लिख लेते हैं. कोई भी एक केस ले लेते हैं, डजेंट मैटर. P में इंक्रीज कितना है? 100 to 150 is an increase of 50. 100 to 125 is an increase of 25. 120 to 150 is 30. And 80 to 100 is 20. The increases of at least 2 of the companies were the same. No. एटलीस्ट 2 क्या? कोई भी 2 कंपनीज का भी इंक्रीज सेम नहीं है. दिस इज फॉर श्योर फॉल्स. सो क्वेश्चन 25 का आंसर इज बी पार्ट. इट इज एन LR काइंड ऑफ DI set where you have sector-wise percentage contributions to the GDP of 9 nations labeled A, B, and so on. It is known that the nations are provided in no specific order. The share, for example, agriculture is in green color, services is in blue color, and industry is in yellow color. Following, however, are known. The GDPs of the 9 nations are provided, but in this particular categorization, which nation is which country, we don't know. ठीक है. GDPs तो उन्होंने दे दिए. China has the highest agriculture GDP, which is valued at US 1 trillion. China is a total of 10 trillion, जिसमें से 1 trillion means 10%. Agriculture 10%, green color 10%. This is China. China, okay. Followed by USA and India. But USA and India का वैल्यू नहीं पता. We don't know second and third कौन होगा. So right now we just leave this. In terms of percentage contribution to the respective nations' GDPs by their service sectors, UK and France are first and second respectively. ठीक है. तो सर्विस सेक्टर इज ब्लू कलर, ब्लू में हाईएस्ट है 79, सेकंड हाईएस्ट है 78, तो यूके है और फिर फ्रांस है। ये यूके आ गया, ये फ्रांस आ गया, सो दिस पर्टिकुलर पॉइंट इज ऑल्सो डन। Fourth, nation A, B, G have the same GDP. A, B, G have the same GDP. Same GDP किसका है? Brazil, India and Russia. So A, B, G में I have Brazil, India and Russia. Who is what we don't know. GDP of India's industry sector is lower than Russia. ठीक है, एंड दोनों इनका GDP is same, right? So if GDP is same, then industry sector is lower means percentage, but it is larger than Brazil. ठीक है, so India is lower than Russia but larger than Brazil. So we have Russia is greater than India is greater than Brazil. सो नेशन ए बी जी में सबसे लार्जेस्ट आ गया रशिया, दिस इज रशिया, देन दिस बिकम्स इंडिया, सबसे पीछे आ गया ब्राज़ील। सो नाउ 3 नेशंस आर लेफ्ट। ठीक है, एवरीथिंग एल्स हैज़ बीन मार्क्ड वेरी वेरी क्विकली। यहाँ पे हमारे पास थोड़ा सा डेटा बचा हुआ था, इफ़ वी कैन यूज़ दिस टू मार्क। China has the highest agriculture GDP followed by USA and India. ठीक है, तो आपका USA is over here, India is over here. ठीक है, okay. Now which nations are left? France is left, Germany is left, Japan is left. ठीक है, France, Germany and Japan are left, and हाईएस्ट एग्रीकल्चर GDP USA का आ गया है, सॉरी चाइना का आ गया $1 ट्रिलियन, फॉलोड बाय USA एंड इंडिया। इंडिया कितना है एग्रीकल्चर GDP? एग्रीकल्चर इज ग्रीन कलर। 17% ऑफ इंडिया 2 ट्रिलियन, 17% ऑफ 2 ट्रिलियन इज 0.34 ट्रिलियन। 17% of India 2 ट्रिलियन is 0.34 ट्रिलियन, दैट इज थर्ड। USA का इससे ज़्यादा है। ठीक है, चाइना इज 1 ट्रिलियन, इज ग्रेटर दैन USA, इज ग्रेटर दैन इंडिया एट 0.34 ट्रिलियन। ठीक है, एग्रीकल्चर की बात हो रही है। सो एग्रीकल्चर में आई हैव 3% ओवर हियर एंड 5% एंड 1% ऑफ USA 17 ट्रिलियन। 17 ट्रिलियन का 1% इज 0.17 ट्रिलियन, एंड 0.17 ट्रिलियन जो है वो इंडिया के 0.34 ट्रिलियन से बड़ा नहीं है, विच मीन्स दैट ये USA नहीं है, दिस इज़ नॉट USA, बट 3% एंड 5% हो जाएगा 0.51 एंड 0.85 ट्रिलियन, मीन्स ये दोनों तो USA हो सकते हैं। ठीक है, so how many nations have we been able to uniquely figure out? 1 2 3 4 5 6 nations. D part is the right answer. 6 nations तो हो गए हमारे। Based on the given information, which of the following cannot be ruled out? Cannot be ruled out means it is possible. ऐसा possible है। China is nation C, wrong. China तो E है, sorry F है। India is B, no. Japan is E, is possible. Russia is G, no. Russia B है। US is nation I, not possible. Japan E is the right answer. Japan E हो सकता है। Which of the following information, when considered in addition, does not allow us to completely identify the 9 nations? ये By using this information we cannot find out the remaining 9 nations. So Germany का industry GDP is 1.2 trillion. Germany का industry GDP is 1.2 trillion. And Germany is total 4 trillion. ठीक है. So 1.2 is what percentage of 4? 0.4, 0.8, 1.2 is 30%. 1.2 is what percentage of 4 trillion? It is 30%. 30%? Yes, 30%. इससे क्या पता चला कि जर्मनी इधर है? Because we are talking about industry, right? Industry means yellow colored. This is your 30%. Germany इधर आ गया. तो but where is USA? USA इधर है कि इधर है पता नहीं. Which means that first option is your answer. First option से ही 9 nations नहीं cover up हो पा रहे हमारे. And that is the end of the set. Not a very difficult set. Now is the moment that you had been waiting for, where we will look at what were the definitely doable questions in the quant section, and आराम से आप कितने मार्क्स ला सकते थे एंड ओवरऑल पेपर का लेवल क्या था. So when you look at the topics that have arrived and approximately plus minus 1-2 questions का error हो सकता है depending upon the manner of classification. So arithmetic has been the heaviest one, and after that DI. ठीक है. Although DI के questions यहाँ पे थोड़े से कम आए हैं. These are a little less compared to normal, because normally you might have half the paper coming from DI. So these two form the most important part of your paper, the heaviest, and of course the third will be geometry. Rest is all mixed up. ठीक है, इधर उधर से कुछ कुछ कुछ. So overall अगर आप पेपर का लेवल देखें, it is moderate, mostly easy moderate, 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 easy moderate, ऐसा है. तो the level of the paper is moderate. The cutoff percentile of 85 is at 10.5 marks. So we want to see that 11 questions आराम से कोई average student कर सकता था क्या? Keeping in mind that you should solve the paper in 2 rounds. Rounds 1 में you are spotting the easy doable ones, and then round 2 में you can spend some time in the paper. So let's see which questions were doable. Definitely question 1 तो doable था. Question 2 is an existing result in geometry. इतनी बार आया हुआ है that this is something that people remember. Question 3 was a little complex because of the calculations. 4 was a standard question. Now the problem over here is that if you are someone जो कि geometry को इतना ध्यान नहीं दिए हैं, then these questions, easy as they might be, they are not within your grasp. Otherwise ये doable question है. 5th was the easiest question of the paper. सबने बनाया ही होगा. ये थोड़ा थोड़ा मुश्किल था. I mean, it's not very difficult, it's moderate, but ये easy category में नहीं आएगा. This is of course challenging. Maxima minima with special equations will be challenging. ये काफ़ी tough question था. ठीक है. Oh, might be a issue with the slide. This was a manageable question. Question 10 was doable. 11th was a basic remainders question. Definitely बना सकते थे आप. And 12 was a basic time and work question. Nothing fancy over here. तो ये definitely ठीक है, it might have taken you 4 minutes, sure, but it was manageable, it was doable. Very very tough question. Calculation based question, again थोड़ा सा tough ही था ये. Please understand that question 14 and 15 में जो ये blue region है, how do you calculate the area of a segment? It is sector minus the triangle. ये दो बार ही लगातार आ चुका है. It's very very important, हाँ. Another slightly calculation based question, not very difficult. Sector minus triangle. ठीक है, लेट्स से दैट ये आपसे नहीं हुआ होगा. ठीक है, अनदर टफ क्वेश्चन, वेन डायग्राम्स का क्वेश्चन. मैं इसको मॉडरेट में डालूंगा, तो मान लेते हैं कि ये आपसे नहीं हुआ होगा. ठीक है, वुड बी अ लिटिल चैलेंजिंग. अनदर टफ क्वेश्चन, हेयर एंड टॉर्टोइज वाज टफ. ये बहुत ही मैनेजेबल क्वेश्चन था. दैट मीन्स आफ्टर क्वेश्चन नंबर 12 डायरेक्टली क्वेश्चन नंबर 21 हैज़ बीन द डुएबल क्वेश्चन. वेरी वेरी स्ट्रेट फॉरवर्ड क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 22 मैनेजेबल, कोई इशू नहीं. DI का बहुत ही आसान क्वेश्चन. क्वेश्चन नंबर 23. 24 was also easy, but 25 मान लेते हैं that maybe it was a little out of your range. And इसको भी मान लेते हैं that this was something that you were not able to do. ठीक है. चलो, this is your analysis of the paper. We have questions 1, 2, 4, 5, 10, 11. 11 के बाद 12 के बाद सीधा 21. So in the first 10 questions itself you had 5 that you could do. उसका next 10 questions में 11, 12 ही थे. फिर उसके बाद आया है 21, 22, 23, 24. So if you add all of these up, 4, 7, you have a total of 11 questions over here. तो ये 11 क्वेश्चंस आप अगर कर लेते एंड देन अगर कुछ तो मुश्किल वाला करोगे ना, यू विल सॉल्व सम ऑफ द स्लाइटली हायर लेवल क्वेश्चंस. तो आपका ये पेपर का निकल जाता कट ऑफ 11 मार्क्स पे. एंड देन अगर आप इफ़ यू वर मेकिंग स्लाइटली मोर क्वेश्चंस, नॉट टू मैनी मोर ऑल्सो, जस्ट अनदर 4 क्वेश्चंस, आपका 95 प्लस टच हो जाता. So all in all, the level of the paper was a little high in case you wanted to score a large number of marks, but in order to clear cutoff, वो आसान वाले questions थे यहाँ पे 11 marks. So that's why the overall paper level was moderate. In order to do well, you would have had to solve many of the tougher questions as well. So good grasp in arithmetic and geometry is necessary to do well in the XAT paper. ठीक है. And let's see what happens in the subsequent years के analysis. If you feel that I should incorporate anything more into the analysis, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, any suggestions, please put it in and I'll take it up in future videos. That's all. Good luck to you all. Thank you.